Come closer to the fire. The night is long, and the shadows are particularly hungry this evening. We like to believe that the internet is forever, that once something is uploaded to the digital ether, it is immortal, etched in silicon and light for all eternity. We are told that the internet never forgets, but that is a lie. Every single day, thousands of hours of video, millions of words, and countless memories simply dissolve. Link rot, copyright strikes, server wipes, they are the reapers of the digital age. But sometimes things aren't just deleted. Sometimes they are remembered, but they cannot be found. Tonight, we are not just telling a ghost story. We are hunting a ghost, a phantom that has haunted the dreams of thousands, yet refuses to be captured. We are diving into the resurgence of the search, the desperate human need to prove that our nightmares were real. Tonight, we speak of Hitogata, and the terror of remembering something that the world says never existed. To understand the gravity of this search, traveler, you must first understand the memory. It begins in Japan, in the late 1990s or early 2000s, a time when television was the only window into the wider world, and late-night broadcasts felt like fever dreams. Witnesses describe a public service announcement, a commercial. It opens with the sound of a railway crossing. The visuals are grainy, possibly animated in a crude, unsettling style. Two figures appear on the screen. They are white, featureless outlines like the chalk drawings at a crime scene, hence the name Hitogata, which translates roughly to man-shape or humanoid figure. The audio is not music, it is a disjointed, mechanical noise. Some remember a heartbeat, others a distorted siren. The two figures stand on the tracks, the train approaches, but they do not move. The screen cuts to black, and then terrifying text appears. Every 2 seconds, someone dies on the tracks. Or perhaps, will you be next? It sounds simple, a safety warning, but the aura of this clip was not educational. It was malignant. It felt wrong, like a transmission from a place that shouldn't exist. And for years, people on text boards like 2Channel whispered about it. They shared their trauma. They compared notes. They all saw it. They all feared it. But when they went to look for it, the tape was blank. This is where the horror shifts from the screen to the mind. In the era of the search-based resurgence, we have tools our ancestors could only dream of. We have the Wayback Machine. We have AI-assisted archival tools. We have millions of internet sleuths scouring the metadata of the forgotten web. For Hitogata, the search was exhaustive. The Lost Media Wiki, a repository of our collective digital grief, categorized it as unfound. Travelers began to dig. They contacted television stations in Tokyo. They archived thousands of hours of commercial blocks from the 90s. They found similar clips, strange PSAs about umbrellas on tracks, or suicide prevention ads. But none matched the specific, dread-inducing description of Hitogata. This is the blue ocean of horror, my friends. It is not the jump scare that frightens us. It is the absence. Imagine the frustration. You know what you saw. You can hear the bell ringing in your ears. You can see the white figures. But the archive says no. The archive says you are crazy. This aligns with a disturbing shift in our digital culture. We are realizing that the cloud is not a library. It is a shredder. If a piece of media does not generate ad revenue, if it does not fit the algorithm, it is purged. The search for Hitogata became a war against oblivion, a desperate attempt to prove that the past actually happened.
But as the years turned into decades, a darker theory emerged.
I must ask you to look inward now, traveler. What if the video never existed? We call this the Mandela effect, a collective false memory shared by thousands. But in the context of lost media, it is far more sinister. It suggests that the human mind is capable of trauma. Perhaps there was no Hitogata. Perhaps it was a composite memory, a mixture of a frightening news report, a different commercial, and a nightmare you had when you were 6 years old. Your brain, desperate to make sense of the fear, stitched these fragments together into a coherent narrative. And then you went online. You read a post from a stranger who described something similar, and your brain said, "Yes, that is it. I saw that too." This is the empathy bridge of horror. We are connected not by truth, but by shared delusion. The search for Hitogata might not be a search for a video file. It might be a search for validation. We want to believe that there is a reason we are afraid of the dark. We want a tangible monster we can point to and say, "That is why I am broken." If the video exists, it is just a creepy ad. But if it doesn't, then the monster is in your head, and you cannot turn it off. This is the true pattern interrupt of our reality, the realization that our own hard drives, our brains, are corrupted.
So why does this matter in 2026? Why are search-based topics exploding in popularity again? Why are we obsessed with the evil farming game, Saki Sanabashi and Hitogata? Because we are losing our grip on truth. In an age of AI-generated content, deep fakes, and algorithmic feeds that show us only what we want to see, lost media represents the last frontier of authenticity. A lost video is raw. It is unpolished. It hasn't been optimized for retention or click-through rate. It is a piece of reality that slipped through the cracks. We hunt for Hitogata because we want to touch something real, even if that something is terrifying. We want to prove that human history is messy, weird, and uncurated. The resurgence of these deep dives is a rebellion against the polished, artificial world we live in. We crave the grain of the VHS, the static of the radio, the imperfection of the past. We are looking for ghosts because the living world has become too plastic.
Traveler, we may never find Hitogata. It may lie rotting on a magnetic tape in a landfill outside Tokyo, or it may only exist in the synapse firing between your neurons. But the search is what matters. It reminds us that we are still looking, that we still care about the things we have lost. Before you leave the warmth of this fire, I have a task for you. Check your own archives. Look at your old photos, your old videos. Preserve them, because the digital wind is blowing and it is colder than you think. Do not let your own story become lost media. Until we meet again in the static, and remember, stay in the light.